My mother and I were not especially close in life. Sadly, I spent a great deal of my life being afraid of her. Yet, there were moments of what I would say were deep love. I remember the look of absolute joy on her face when she found out she was pregnant with her eighth child, her sixth daughter. Her joy shone forth like a beam of pure sunshine, her contentment there for the world to see. I remember my older sister's embarrassment and recriminations, given her age and theirs. It didn't faze Mum, though. She simply smiled, almost cradling her stomach with the knowledge that she was bringing another life into the world. Having carried and delivered 3 healthy children myself, I too know that initial contentment and joy. In the September of 2004, I delivered my youngest child, a beautiful, healthy little boy. My mother had taken a trip to the West Coast to visit her brother and had suggested she would like to stop over on her way home. As a tired 30-something-year-old mother, I discouraged the visit, telling her, "We will have lots of time to catch up." If only I had known there would be no more time. She was ill and knew there was not much time left for her. However, she never confided her ill health to anyone. Her stoic personality would not see her ask for help, not even from her own children. It was the week of Christmas that everyone realised her health was rapidly deteriorating, and within the next few weeks, the seriousness of her health condition sent us all reeling. Liver disease, they said. She had 10% liver function left, and once she drops below that, she will most certainly go into a coma and die. I remember one of my last conversations with her. Being perhaps the most spiritual amongst my siblings, I needed to know she had made her peace before she passed. I asked her if she knew how ill she was, and she leaned forward toward me and said, almost in a conspiratorial voice, "Why? What have you heard?" I smiled. Her naivety at the time, like a child, and I told her, "I haven't heard anything more than you." So I tried a different tack. "Do you remember just before Dad died? He had made his peace with life, with his Maker. He was ready to go." She looked at me a little perplexed and said, "Yes, well, if you're asking me if I'm afraid to die, then the answer is no. I'm not afraid of dying. So if that is what you call making my peace, then yes, I have made it." She left us at 6:30 p.m. on the 26th of January 2005. It was Australia Day, and my brother had left the hospital earlier due to the fact that one of my sisters was wailing at her bedside, and he felt she was being selfish and not allowing our mother's spirit to cross in peace. Everyone had left the room when he rushed in, tears in his eyes, as he said, "I'm too late, aren't I?" I nodded, tears already falling on my cheeks, each breath harder to take. I felt like I was suffocating. I felt his pain and his loss as it mirrored my own. And it was in that moment that it happened. I looked across at her lying there on the bed, and she was smiling. A little smile that had not been there at the time of her passing, and I assured my brother, "Do you see that smile?" He nodded. "That smile is for you. She knows you are here, and she is letting you know that you weren't too late. She is still here." It was many months later, and I was certain that she had moved on, that there was no reason for her to reach back, until the night she came to me in a dream. And it was in her words that night that I found what I had been searching for my whole life. I was lying on a bed chatting with 2 of my sisters when she appeared. She was once again renewed with the youth and vitality of life. She looked as I had seen her at around the time she had been crowned the Malden Beauty Queen, 19 or 20 perhaps. Her message was simple. I'm proud of you. I said, I know, almost dismissive of the words that had been uttered. So focused was I on her beauty. And she said the words again, this time with a greater sense of urgency. I need you to know that I'm proud of you. And I looked into her eyes and saw the love bursting from within. And in that moment I knew that she meant it. And I smiled back at her. She hugged me in that moment. Never had I felt such tenderness, such all-consuming love. And when I awoke, I could still feel the warmth of her arms around me.